Hey guys, Jennifer here with a quick 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. We're going to talk for a minute. And one of the things that we're going to talk about is getting to know your reader, your spirit messenger, your 3D version of God. 37 as I say that. That guru that you go to help you get in alignment with spirit, your higher self, your almighty. Now, right now we have an epidemic going on. It seems it's been going on since religion began and since God existed and gave us life ourselves. Seems to have been going on. Right now it's going on in good old YouTube tarot world. And that's where we're going to bring our focus to. You see, for centuries people have used the gifts that people like myself have to do many things through life. In fact, many travelers, before traveling, talk to prophets to find out what they think is going to happen. A lot of people rely on prophets, whether they're a prophet of no matter what senses they might have or use, that's, they're used for health, they're used for future choices, they're used for important life decisions that could affect not just one person, but families, communities, towns, states, countries. And yet, we have this problem. What is this problem? Just as in anything else, you have your trustworthy, accurate, mind-blowing, boggling interpreters. And then you have what I've begun to call karmic readers. Until I figure out another name, that's what it'll be. Let me give you a little background. We all have intuition. Some dive deep and follow a hole that will lead them to explore until their days are end. Others will take a little bit of it, 337, and use it to assist them in their own endeavors, maybe a few friends and family members. And then you have others that will completely dive in and not only do this for themselves, but embrace this for others as well, choosing it to be their path of, let me help you find yourself. That's who we are. That's what we're supposed to be carrying, 414. When people see the magical, get your tarot cards read, or you hear the commercials for call this psychic for da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Everybody gets excited when they hear that, right? 444. Of course they do. You're about to find out some incredible knowledge from somebody you don't know, able to tell you from a source you've never seen with your own eyes before. with interpretations that are kind of weird to you at first. I've used tarot for over 20 years. In fact, my first deck I picked up when I was 19 years old. My middle son's birthday is the 19th. It was my path. Anyway, I don't regret that day. I wasn't even looking. I actually went into the store and didn't know anything about tarot. But the smell drew me in. The smell of the store drew me in. And I love stores like that. And the woman gave me a deck and I bought a deck. Now, I could use a lot more studying. Everybody can. But I'm pretty good at it. I'm really good at it. I've helped so many people. And the more I help people, the more I get acknowledged for being able to help people, the more protective I become of it. And if there's one thing about a Taurus, they protect what they love to the depths. There's many of you that I protect, and I shouldn't be giving you peasants after the things that you've done to me or said about me. But it's not up to me to judge you for it. I'll call you out on it. Let you know I know it. Most of you don't give a fuck. You just do what you do. It's like, whatever. Back to the flip side. I love tarot. I love it almost as much as I love music. 733, 345. Over the last 6 months or so, especially the last 3 months, y'all, I don't have to tell you what's been going on. But for some people, they don't know what's going on, so I'm going to take the time to tell you. Just as in everything, there's good and bad. There's people that have your best interest at heart, and there's people that will tear your heart out if they'll get paid for it. I came to YouTube for guidance, just like everybody else. It grew on me. Some readers I have been watching since day ones. Most of the readers that I watch now are kind of new to me. I may not be new to the path, but they're new to me. I only have a couple that I actually you grow, and when you grow, you shift. And not only that, I've learned that just as there are good and bad cops and good and bad preachers, there are good and bad tarot readers. 10:07, there's bitches out there willing to do whatever it takes to get famous. Make a buck or say that they've done something that makes them look tough. Bullyism is not tough. It's very cowardly. To feel like you have to crush somebody to get your pittance, it isn't cool. Like, and you can tell the difference between the people who are bullies and the people that are not bullies. The people that are bullies, they think it's funny as fucking shit to watch people just fall all over themselves. And them be the reason for it. The non-bullies, even if by accident they cause it, they're not okay with it. Even if they know the person deserves to fall straight on their face, they're wishing they would have listened and we could have totally avoided the whole concept. But we're not all built the same. So we have to deal with all different kinds of people. I'm genuinely not a hater. In fact, I'm a lover, dude. I mean, you just check out my charts and it's all about love. Love and passion is what drives my chart. And balance. Love, passion, and balance. With some steadfast... I'm a dick, dude. I'm a very passionate dick. With morals. That loves everybody and just doesn't understand how the fuck this world works and why it's okay to lie, cheat, and steal. But you're gonna have disregard to the bitches out here that don't do that shit. You're gonna treat the girls out here and the men that are there for you, that do pick up the pieces, that are willing to wipe your ass, as if they don't mean anything and they're not good enough to be around. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I've spent the last 3 years completely committed to spirit, getting messages, giving messages with some of y'all. Like you knew my story. We were relating. And then about 3 months ago, I'd already picked out a few, and I just kind of turned them off and didn't pay attention. But then it started getting more and more. And I was like, wait a minute. And then tarot started getting more popular. Look. God doesn't need whistleblowers. Okay? So, whenever people get pissed off and they're like, you're a rat, you're a whistleblower, how could you do that? Like, it's like, God knew what you were doing before you even made the action. What the fuck are you talking about? I didn't tell on you. You telling yourself. God is inside of you. Like, he knows what you're thinking before it even comes out your mouth, or it even processes through your system for you to make the necessary actions with your body to accomplish whatever the fuck it is. God's already there. Already dealing with it. Already figuring out how to counteract it. How to stick with it. You know, how it's gonna turn out. God's already there. Nobody can tell on anybody, dude. God already knows. And if it's something like you're like, it's not like law abiding or anything like that, it's just a moral thing, God sees it too. Like, it's just, that's how God works. I don't know. I do know that, like most people, we're so fucking tired of the aggravation and the bullshit and the lying and the cheating and the manipulating. When I go to God, I'm going to God, man. So when I'm talking to each of you, or when you're trying to talk to me and you're reading those cards or you're doing some form of divination or spirit access, I should be able to trust the words coming out of your mouth. I should be able to know that you're being sincere and you want what's best for me because you're working in God's light. But that doesn't seem to be the case for many of you. And instead of coming back with, oh my God, I'm caught, these bitches are like, she's karmic, she's karmic. Which puts it even louder that you do not know what the fuck you are doing or talking about. And I'm just like, oh my God. People are counting on you to make important decisions about their life. And rather than fix your shit now that you're busted, you're going to try and come up with ways to say that I'm inadequate and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Let me put this out here. Some of you make it very obvious that you don't know what you're doing. Listen, some of you, those cards, they just don't add up. They just don't add up. And I just sit there and I'm like, it doesn't matter. For some of you, you'll even try and switch it up with getting your tarot decks that aren't your non-traditional tarot decks. An Ace of Swords is an Ace of Swords, no matter which deck you get it from. There may be a little bit of difference in the concept of the Ace of Swords in the moment according to the card, but it's the concept. The meaning is the same. The basic meaning of the 72 cards in the deck are the same. It doesn't matter which deck you use. And when you add oracle cards to it or message cards to it, that adds to the definition. Okay? And with so many out there today, getting an accurate reading is like, it's almost impossible for you not to be able to do your own cards. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you took the time to actually read the cards, you don't even need tarot cards to read your own cards. You can pick up a deck of oracle cards. If you feel, especially a lot of people, they put taboo on tarot. So if you feel a taboo towards tarot, get a deck of oracle cards. Get you a deck of cards that's nothing but scriptures on it. That's a tarot deck. It's an oracle deck. But it makes you feel better because it's got God written on it. And so it says it's okay according to the Bible. And I mean, God forbid you take a deck. Yes, I have taken decks and decks of tarot cards in churches. So go ahead. Let me hear it. Now, when you're done, let's get back to the page. Is that it? That's all you got? A little bit more. Remember now, I took tarot cards into church. Okay. A little better response than I was expecting, but okay, listen, we're good. No. To my surprise, I start really paying attention. The stories aren't adding up. Not only are they not adding up, I'm being led down paths that would set me back. And then somewhere along the line, I went from being the divine femme to being the karmic. And the worst person in the fucking world to ever get to know. The biggest bitch and the worst judge. And I'm just like, wow. Okay. Listen. Narcissism runs in my family. I've been married to military. I've been in the military. I spent 25 years in the street. And I've been studying psychology since I was 12. I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to be myself. And come to you for advice. And you want to provide a shitty experience, but then make fun of me if I call you out on it. Why don't you have more pride in your work? Why don't you want people to be resonating with your work? Why is it more important for you to show off that you did something to trick somebody than it is for you to apply the benefits of having the gift of sight? Again, I say, everybody has the gift of intuition. Not everybody has the gift of sight. Everybody can read a deck of tarot cards. Not everybody is able to read a deck of tarot. Master the tarot. That's a special breed. It takes more than knowing the words and the pictures and the meanings. You have to feel the card. Feel its moment. Feel its shift. Feel its reasoning in the reading. And its resonance. Doing tarot to you, to me, it's like I love to do it. And as time goes on here, as I continue to clear out my system, it becomes a form of sex to me. Safe, unadulterated, spiritual exploration that provides you an existence nobody can kick you out of. The way that I'm able to talk to spirit is unlike a person. and that's to be said, but when I'm not worried about the drama, calling somebody out on their shit, or feeling like I've got to do more to get more, I'm in that moment of spirit. And it's incredible. And for some of you, your voices, your picturesque, your presence, your demeanor, and the way that you rumble through the cards with your story and your phrases and your way of going about, it's like going into a different realm with each person that I choose to read my story for the day. And in the opportune time that God gives me a message, that's my time to provide you with an outer world experience. I want mine to be filled with love and light and life. Games to be played and sounds to make, and advice that could be passed down from generation to generation. It's a feeling that is so good, you turn down the alcohol, the buzz, and the pills. That's what it is for me. See, whenever you get a moment and you just are having that, you could go turn on a tarot reading. It's free. And if that one doesn't fit, there's thousands of more of them. One of them has to fit, or you wouldn't be drawn to it. So when I come across these young books, I just want to say, what up, doe? And then I realize, you're not real, though. You need to work on that. Because on the days when you're not reading my story, and to the people who know not otherwise that it's my story you're trying to read about, because of who I'm connected with, nothing more, nothing else. It shows you're shallow. Your slip is showing. And you didn't even wear the one with lace. I mean, like, if you were going to show me your cards, the least you could have done is put the one on that looks the prettiest. But you got the 1/8" seam and probably double stitched. No, maybe single stitched. Granny panties. You're showing everything. It's not cool. 30:03. It's just not cool to know that you have somebody's world in your hands. And rather than assist them with it, you'd rather manipulate it into something that makes them need to come back. You are doctors without borders. And you use that phrase as if it's a needle in a box you can get on a shelf at any store that sells food supply. When in fact, 90% of Doctors Without Borders have spent years and years and years in organized education to fulfill those boosts that your connection with Spirit provided you without all that education. And hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt in school funds. In a moment when you should feel high and mighty without needing the drug appeal, you'd rather bash yourself with false advertisements of this is what it is. I'm so accurate, I'll lie to your face and keep the good stuff for myself so I know how to manipulate your future and put it in my path instead of yours. God gave you gifts. Not everybody has. They weren't given to you to abuse. They weren't given to you to give away. They were given to you to enjoy them. You need to embrace your gifts. 313-33. You need to embrace the opportunities that you've been provided to assist people with your truth, not the manipulated form, but the reality that's in those cards every time you lay them down. There's a message, regardless of whether or not you can read a goddamn card. 3340, there's a message in it for somebody every time you lay a card. And maybe you don't want to take people's lives seriously. But I don't know any other way to be. So while you're gloating that you lie, cheat, steal, manipulate, and chase people's dreams away, I'm going to pray that one day you'll figure out that's not the way. And continue moving forward on my path. Posting whenever the fuck I want. However many times the day I want. To who I want, about what I want. And if it interests you, you'll be there. If you feel the urge to hear my voice, I'll see you there. I'm not butthurt, I'm not angry, I'm not upset even. God gave me a gift. And it's cost a lot. So shaming me for using it is probably not the right plot. But I'll let you be you and not ask permission to be me. For it is only my heart I need to satisfy. And God's got all the checkpoints on that. I'm not trying to argue with you or beef with you. I have found that for some of you, it is like talking. You're not ready yet. Some of you are just not ready for that message. Many of you are just becoming able to even accept the vibration. It is a shift. I'm not bragging. This is something I've had to get used to. I can feel it before most of you do. This shift is going to teach you a lot of things, and depending on how close you want to stay with your ego, attitude, and judgment passing. That's how easy or hard this next 30 days is going to be for everyone. Not just you, including me. Just because I did the classes that I'm telling you to take doesn't mean I don't have classes for myself to take. I can't keep being a teacher if I quit learning. And I'm very proud of my students. Especially the ones that get to walk through the path of a person or people's dealing with things they've never dealt with. That's who we are. That's why we're here. The healers, the messengers. We got old grandpas out here. She's a narcissist. I'm not a narcissist. You're just not able to pick up on my energy enough to know what's really going on. Or you're jumping the bandwagon because I deal with a lot of famous people. And rather than read the cards correctly, you want to impress these people. And make it to where they all look heavenly and happy and they're not doing anything wrong. You're not impressing them. In fact, most of you really, really are not impressing them. 3917. So much so that I was talked out of being a part of your group. After noticing what you guys were doing. Because I was hanging out with some readers that I seem to be the only one telling the truth about what was going on in my story. And then I shifted energies a little more, and then readers that were being genuine were coming in. And I have a couple that were genuine. But for the most part, it was a bunch of girls trying to be on the rap scene lying about somebody is wrong. And it may get you somewhere for a short amount of time, 40-20. But just as quick as you get up there, you'll be dropped right down. A lot of you are looking for that light, that hype, that I want to be a rock star, the hype. Are any of you genuinely trying to read any of these people's stars? Or are you just, I can do it, I can do it, I can read your cards, I can read your cards, here, let me show you. And all you're showing them is a bunch of the fucking good stuff. 4111. That's not what they need. 413. That's not what they need. They need you to be honest. They need you to 4121. They need you to provide them a ticket, a key, a space into their higher self. And help them solve the issues that they came to you for. And don't tell me I'm full of shit because I've watched the fucking readings that you guys are posting. Especially since since everybody knows who I'm around. And you come up with somebody, oh, this one says this and this one that says this. And I'm just like, wow. You'd do anything for Listen. Kit Kat bars are special. They should be treated as such. If you have a famous person that's coming to you for a reading, if you're doing a reading on somebody who is in a leadership position, substantial position, authoritative position, one where they're recognized by many of their peers, 4252. It's your time to show off your gift. For real. They get enough psychobabble bullshit from their managers, from the TV shows, from the people trying to get them to come on our talk show, buy this, buy that, support this, support that. They don't need it from their spirit worker. That's the last fucking thing that they need from you, is to kiss their goddamn ass and play pick-me games. They've been coming to psychics for years, dude. But they're not going to go to you when you're fucking my story up to impress them. You're the last fucking readers on their list of who to go to when they need assistance. Because for most of you, unknowingly, you were recorded too. They watched your every move. They played games with your fucking shit. And they tested your resonance. You failed. And I didn't have to say shit. A couple of you got pointed out by the very same people that you tried to burn me down for. They pointed you out. A friend 4445 is only as much as good of a friend as you are to them. You can be the best friend in the world to somebody, but if they're shitting all over your back, you're not very good friends. And you should understand that. As far as they're concerned, you shitting all over me is like shitting all over them. If I can't trust you, how can they? I saw this thing, and I don't know who she is. It was on TikTok. And she said she's the new Walmart version of Taylor Swift. And we should all feel lucky because she's still so young. She can comment back to everybody. She can respond to everybody. 4555. She's good too. I don't know what her name is. I don't know if I liked her stuff. If I liked her stuff to see if it's on. I don't know, but I guess look it up. Just look up the Walmart Taylor Swift. I don't know. She's grunge. She's rock star. She's a rock star. So yeah, she's like the she's like Taylor Swift went swimming with Avril Lavigne and caught up with Halsey along the way. That's about right. You might get a little bit of Gwen out of that too. Early Gwen. Early Gwen. Early Gwen. Like, no doubt Gwen. Maybe right after No Doubt. Yeah, maybe right after No Doubt. Anyway, I'm not trying to degrade you in any way. I'm trying to encourage you to, if you genuinely have these gifts and this is something that you want to do with your life, just start being honest. YouTube is changing the way that they do their channels. And if you haven't noticed yet, you will notice that your views are not going to be just based on one thing. Your content is going to need to be something worthy. And after this charade that you guys have pulled, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't put genuine tarot readers in with their copyright team to make sure that you're doing a good job. They can demonetize you for being, what is it, misrepresentation? How can you misrepresent tarot? Very easily. I watched you do it with my life. You're not looking pretty to anybody right now. You can put all the makeup and wigs and nails on you want to. A liar's a liar. God did not give 4911. God did not give you those gifts to lie to people with. You have lives in your hand. How would you like it if the heart surgeon that was assigned to your case, well, he decided that it was more important for him to go to rock concerts instead of studying his last year before he started doing actual surgeries? What is that? I don't remember the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about, where you have to spend these hours, up the ass of another doctor. Intern. But that's not the word I'm using. Your clinicals. Just think about that. Because again, I say, even though you didn't have to go to school 50-20 like they do, your presence in a person's life is just as important. The words that come out of your mouth are just like a sword that cuts the skin of somebody getting their heart pumped, stented, repaired, or massaged. Your soul is matched with a heartbeat. Therefore, making all of those cuts as important as the other. Which one do you want to be? What part do you want to be? It's not a hard question. And I'm not saying that bad things are gonna fucking happen to you if you don't choose the right decision. It's your decision. Do you want to be a good person who provides accurate messages, or do you want to be a shitty person that should probably quit your job if you're gonna lie to people about what God's saying? Listen, do you think I like at times knowing that, yes, there are good things that are happening for some of the people who have done me dirty, but I still read them. I still read them. I've also read beyond and found that many people will earn their karma. Some people have already paid their karma. Some people will be paying for their karma after I've already forgotten what they've done. It's not up to me when they get their karma. It's up to me to provide the message that God gave me to give. Listen. In 2020, I had to give some of the hardest messages I've ever given. And those messages, they weren't taken correctly. I was just the jealous dumb bitch that didn't know what she was saying. Thankfully for me, 52, I have been redeemed since then. But I do know what the fuck I'm talking about, and people could probably learn something a time or two if they just took a minute. If I pull you over, I have a message. I've given messages of all kinds to people I despise and people that I like. But they're accurate. And what parts aren't accurate, they're a little dusty. Need a little illusion. We go through that sometimes. But for the most part, my messages are pretty accurate. My messages are pretty accurate. 53. And I'm grateful for that. I don't want that to be taken away from me. So when God tells me to give somebody a message, I give them the message. Whether they take it or they don't, that's not my business. Whether they choose to shift their direction, it's not my business. My only job is to provide the message. 54:22. The rest of it is extra. Every day I wake up wondering whether or not I'm going to continue doing YouTube, because some of you are just so asinine and set in your buffoon. I'm just like, why am I supposed to be teaching these people? And Daddy's like, because somebody has to be out there telling the fucking truth. Why not you? So I'm asking you, why not you? 5517. A lot of you have a lot of making up to do. And it's not to me, because I will never listen to you again. And most of the people that you were trying to impress won't listen to you either. But there's people out there that don't know what you've done. And people that will give you the opportunity to try again. If you want to keep practicing and make things right, 55-55. Again, that's your decision. I'm not going to keep harping you about it. If I see it, I'm going to call it. And I'm asking any other reader, if you see it, call it. Because it's your reputation on the line just as much as it is mine. Because when you speak, you are putting a reputation on not just yourself, but the rest of us that are doing the same fucking job you're doing. And I don't want to be associated with not being able to trust what's coming out of my mouth. I don't want to be associated with that. I don't want to be associated with bullshit. I don't want to be associated with drama. That's not who the fuck I am. That's not what I'm about. God didn't give me this gift to fucking start soap operas with. 5700. It's to solve problems. Enlighten our ability to get through things overflowing instead of underproductive. That's where you come in. I can't read everybody's, I mean, I could, but I'm not trying to read everybody's attention and energy, and I'm not trying to get all that. You are, and that's okay. A lot of you do personal readings. I'm not doing personal readings. A lot of you do a lot of stuff that I don't do. Do it accurately. Do it honestly. I'm not trying to run over your shit, dudes. I'm really fucking not. But I'm also not trying to be a part of a crowd that thinks that it's okay to run over motherfuckers. It's not. Some of you charge hundreds of dollars for a fucking reading, dude. Hundreds of dollars for a reading. Don't you think that person deserves the honest to God truth? I mean, if you took $200 into a fucking store, don't you want to come out with something valuable enough that you can fucking show it off? I know if I pay $200 for a fucking reading, that's like buying a stereo. That's like spending $200 on a stereo, get home and the fucking speakers are busted. The fuck? No, dude. If you hold yourself in such high fucking regard, why are you lying anyway? Why are you manipulating, taking bribes, and feeling like it's okay for you to hurt somebody to get where the fuck you're going? No, you don't get to fucking get onto me. You know why? All the people who hurt me, they still come to me for advice. You know why? Because I still give it to them honestly. I tell them what they need to hear. I am their messenger. In that moment, they came to me for a message from God, and He's vibing through me to give them the information that they need. It is 10000. It is not meant for me to decipher whether or not they get the full message. I give them what I get from God. And just the same as you, it is not meant for you to decide whether or not I deserve something or not. It is up to you to provide what it is that God gave you to provide. And for you, the readers, reading is what you're supposed to be providing. So be a doll and do the right thing. And if you want to harp on me, by all means, just make sure you do it honestly.